our Dunbar, West Virginia this morning. We spent the night there in a hotel. Back in the camper now, coming up on Henderson. And
Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant. Hunting.
So we're coming up to the Mothman Museum. Well, I came across this sign first. Historic Point Pleasant, scene of the first battle, American Revolution, October 10th, 1774. Site of Washington's Camp, 1770. Site of Fort Randolph, 1776. Erected by Kiwanis Club, 1933. And that's cool because Kevin's favorite time in history is learning more about the Revolutionary War. My shadow's in the way.
What's this?
Border Grays, organized at Barbersville, September 18th, 1862, with Captain William Gunn as commander. Served with the Guyandotte Battalion until January 1863, then was assigned as Company D, 8th Virginia Cavalry, CSA under Colonel Albert G. Jenkins. Well, that has nothing to do with the Mothman Museum, but it's an interesting tidbit of history for this little town, Point Pleasant. Coming up literally behind the Mothman statue. Legend of the Mothman. On a chilly fall night in November 1966, two young couples drove into the TNT area north of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, when they realized they were not alone. What they saw that night has evolved into one of the great mysteries of all time, hence the Mothman legacy began. It's grown into a phenomenon known all over the world by millions of curious people asking questions. What really happened? What did these people see? Has it been seen since? It still sparks world's curiosity, the mystery behind Point Pleasant, West Virginia's Mothman. Needs a pedicure and a manicure. Scary looking. Holy Mothman Museum.
We're on the way through.
No worries.
The village of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, sits at the confluence of the Ohio and Kanawha rivers. Its charming main street evokes the classic feel of small-town America, but is also the site of a rather unusual attraction. This 12-foot tall figure...
Admission, Kevin, pay to get us in. Pay admission to get us in.
All right, $24.91. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
You got it for me for our anniversary.
also disappears. And after news of two similar sightings, nearly one...
The TV behind me is telling a different story about another neighboring town that had something weird happen. But these letters are the eyewitness accounts of the two people that saw, or three people that saw, evidently saw the Mothman. There's the typed version, and here are the handwritten versions. Police reports. November 1966. Typewritten versions. So that silver bridge that we were on, this talks about it, but it says that on December 15th, 1967, that was the night before I turned 8 years old. At approximately 5 p.m., the bridge suddenly collapsed in the Ohio River, and 37 vehicles were crossing at that time. 31 of them fell with the bridge. 46 individuals perished, and 9 were seriously injured. It collapsed exactly 13 months from the day of the original sighting of the Mothman in Point Pleasant, which was on November 15th, 1966. And it was the 13th eye bar that resulted in the bridge's collapse. So what'd you think?
Not at all what I expected. Talk about monopolizing on a legend. There's more kitschy stuff in there than I can possibly have imagined they could have crammed into that little place.
I mean, it was interesting. And evidently Point Pleasant is a place of lots of extraterrestrial activity.
And apparently it is known as the origin of the Men in Black. The first Men in Black, popularized, of course, by the movie, first appeared after the Mothman incident in 1966.
As they were trying to silence the witnesses.
That's where they started, or at least publicly.
So, but it was fun. It was a nice way to spend about an hour, and we are going to hit the road now. It's shortly after 11 o'clock, and we've got a 5-hour drive. We always add 25% on to the time estimated by Siri and Google for lunch stops and gas potty stops. So be about 6.5 hour drive.
I'm recording this with the thought that it might be the same bridge that collapsed after the Mothman incident in 1966. Oh, but there's a nice view of the river. That's the bridge we went into the town on.
Here's welcome to Ohio.
We're now in Ohio.
Well,
Now we're in Ohio. Spread out. Okay, this is in the category of what are the chances? We're on this back road on the way to Campground, which is also part of a music festival location named after the Bluegrass musician Bill Monroe. So that's why we're on this out-of-the-way road. And here we are faced with traffic that is stopped because there is a tree that has fallen.
Kevin's got our little chainsaw now too. Look who just showed up. These homeowners are going to be so surprised to see their tree. Yeah. And our little tiny chainsaw. Be the office. have survived setting up. That's always the hardest part. The sites aren't as level as we hoped, and we try to find a way to help each other with the backing up and getting things figured out. It's always a struggle, as every RV couple knows. But this is the campground. That's one loop back there. Got a few people back there. You can rent cabins. Here's the Vamper. We were supposed to be in the site way back there by those electric boxes, but it's such a downhill slope. I thought we were close to a bathroom for Kevin. I guess technically we are. I thought we were close to like a shelter house. I have to look on the map to see where that is. Kevin's resting in the Vamper right now. I got things organized. I think we'll basically be calling it a night here pretty soon. It's almost 8 o'clock. We got here before dark. That was good. Trying to walk down here. I don't know that it would have mattered where we made our reservation, because they didn't even have our reservation. They weren't even expecting us. I think we probably could have parked pretty much anywhere. Probably could have parked down there. I think there's a shower house down there closer, but it's hard to know until we go there. I'll offer to drive Kevin down there tomorrow morning so he can take a shower if he wants to down there. It's quiet here. They have music concerts here. A couple of tents back there. Don't know if there's any people in them or not. I don't see any vehicles. But so if there was a concert, we would have had to buy a ticket in order to rent a spot to sleep. But no concerts. But this is evidently a bluegrass place, and they have one of the largest bluegrass festivals here. And that would be fun sometime. Of course, that would mean a packed campground. I'm not sure that's always probably not preferable for me. So pretty laid back here. I guess it's a place to sleep. We feel safe. We've got electricity. We've got water too, but we didn't plug into the water because my tanks are still full and I'd rather use that up. Tomorrow night will be our last night in the Vamper. There's a dump station right there. Probably won't need that tomorrow either, since all we have is the gray tank. That's one advantage to having a bathroom like we have, with a dry flush toilet. We can take showers in there, and all I have to do afterwards is wipe down the aisle floor. Never have to wipe out the wet bath, which I'm told is a pain in the butt. Never have to dump the black tank. We only have gray. So, and you can recharge the dry flush toilet. I'm doing that right now. I'll show you. As long as we have electricity. It's plugged in up there, and it's charging right at the back side of it. Down to 25% because I forgot to shut it off a couple of times. Otherwise, it keeps a charge for a really long time. So let that charge up a little bit. Get it back up to 100. I don't know how long it'll take. Hopefully not too long. Here's the pole with the electric. This one's 30 amp. I'm not sure what the others are, but they do say that they have 20, 30, and 50 amp. in the water if we chose to use it. It would be fun to go peek in those cabins, but it's so hot and humid still. So maybe there's a picture online. We can look online. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna say goodnight. Go in and heat up some of our leftovers from the Mexican restaurant last night, and maybe see if I can find the Mothman prophecies or some of those Mothman documentaries that we learned about this morning. There's 4 bars for cell signal here, so we should be able to stream Amazon Prime, which is where I'm told those shows are. So, somebody out for a ride? Saw those people earlier when we were just arriving. They were getting their firewood. Sometimes times like this, I wish I had my little electric scooter along. It's one of those kind where you can stand up on it, electric, but mine also has a seat. But it would have been too much for me to take on this trip with trying to also fit Kevin's stuff into the Vamper. So maybe sometime when I'm by myself, right around the campsites like this. All right, I'm gonna say goodnight. See you in the morning. We're about ready to hit the road again. That's the little road we just drove down to get to the bathrooms. More campsites up here. These are nice. They look level. They're more expensive. I keep going the cheaper route. And here's a little cabin. Well, I ended up falling asleep. Kevin's been doing most of the driving today. And woke up to the rolling hills being gone and cornfields and bean fields. So, starting to look more and more like home. We're coming up on Peoria, Illinois now. We have about an hour and a half until our campground, which we should get to between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. It's pretty early for us, but we're just trying to keep it at a little bit of a more relaxed pace. Driving aiming for 5.5 hours on the road trip, knowing that gas and potty and foodstuffs will take us add a couple hours, or at least an hour to our day. Everything's good. I think I'm ready to be home. I feel like we do. It's kind of pretty how far you can see. Right over there. I don't know if that shows up in camera as well as it does from my seat. Pulling up to the campground now. We have a lot of RVs over here. That's not ours. I don't think ours is not near this big. On the left it said Cal.
Yes.
Your destination is on the left.
Here? Okay, so this is our campground. So up there, the tube where it says tube rental, that's where we have to turn right, and then our destination is on the left, evidently. So this big campground is ours. Yeah, Lundine's Rock River Landing. That's our campground. Oh, much bigger than I thought.
Do you have to check in someplace?
Yeah, I have to go check in. Yep. So just pull up there. Yep.
Here's the office.
Yep. So we just pulled into our little campsite here, and this is how you can tell if you're level.
I'm going to pull up and see if I can move to the right about 6 inches, but
Okay.
how close am I to that table?
You got a long ways. So we got a level here and we got a level over there in the door. And you got to watch the bubble. The bubble is the high side. That's where, there. That's good. And then this bubble. Oh, you're in your
That's
arm.
dead center.
Where is that bubble? Right there. Yeah, dead center. Hey,
I think we're pretty close.
we're close enough. That's how we level the Vamper. We watch these levels that somebody was smart enough to put on there. This one goes side to side, and the one on the door is for front to back. And they're pretty much right on 0. Well done. Much easier than last night. The guy that just checked me in said it was 104 degrees in here. So Kevin prefers to use the campgrounds, bathrooms, and showers, so he went down that way. I'm just turned on the air conditioner. I'm just sweating up a storm, and I don't usually sweat. It's just something else here, the humidity. So I'm going to sit down for a minute and let the AC take some of the heat and humidity out of. We are still inside the Vamper, but just look at that. Just beautiful. It's still awful hot out there, but we can at least enjoy the view from inside our air-conditioned Vamper. We're just relaxing, watching TV.
12 minutes ago, there was a tornado warning for parts of Blue Earth,
Yeah.
Fargo, and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, at home. Yeah, my phone's been blowing up. The family. Tornado warning, not exactly for them, but maybe a half an hour to their east. So, bad weather at home. Where we live, we got 4 inches of rain last night, another 2 or 3 forecasted for tonight. But right now, we're just going to enjoy the beautiful sunset right here. Wonderful. How nice that we don't have anybody right across from us. We can just enjoy that view. Huh, nice. And with this, I'll say good night for tonight. See you in the morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are all ready to go, packed up. We'll do a quick drive-through of this campground. Okay. So there's actually 2 loops. 2 or 3 loops. We'll find out. This loop. And I found out yesterday that they're also creating another loop across the road from here that's just as big.
Facebook page, and what we're showing you is the historic Shot Tower in Dubuque, Iowa, one of the last remaining shot towers in the United States. The Shot Tower, constructed in 1856, was designed to manufacture lead shot, the small spherical pellets used in shotguns. This tower was designed for the production of lead shot. Molten lead was poured from the top, and as it fell, it formed into spherical droplets that were cooled in a water basin at the base. Standing at 120 feet 5 inches tall, the tower's lower 7 stories are constructed of galena dolomite stone, while the upper 3 stories are made of soft red brick. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and is a recognized symbol of Dubuque. This type of tower played a key role in improving the efficiency and consistency of shot production during the time. The process involved pouring molten lead through a metal grate positioned at the top of the structure. As the liquid lead fell, gravity and surface tension caused it to form into nearly perfect spheres. These droplets cooled and solidified upon landing in the water basin, preserving their round shape and uniform size. Sooner after its construction, the tower faced challenges due to the financial crisis triggered by the Panic of 1857. Economic instability limited its operation. Eventually, a company from St. Louis, Chadbourne & Company, acquired the tower in Dubuque, though never put it to use. After the Civil War, the structure found a new purpose. The Standard Lumber Company repurposed it as a fire lookout tower. The tower's operational life came to an end in 1911 after a series of fires, later determined to be arson, devastated the local lumber industry. No suspects were identified, and the tower has been unused since.
Drop towers date back to the 1760s, when Englishman William Watts invented the drop process. He discovered that by dropping molten lead from a substantial height, surface tension will make a perfect sphere. Since the drop process was invented, drop or shot towers have been built across the world. This one was built in 1856. Now it's a historical landmark. This is Dubuque on the river. I don't know which river again. I wonder what that is. Oh, I think we can go down there. There's somebody talking, but the talking must be coming from over here. Oh, it's a lock. It's a lock over there. Old bridge. Should we go down there, Kevin? I don't know what this used to be. I don't see any signs. I hear radio communications coming from over there. That side is Illinois. We're on the Iowa side now, Dubuque. There's a riverboat. That would be kind of fun if we were staying here. Wonder what else there is to do in town here. Maybe we'll... There's the shot tower up there. Maybe we'll have to come back sometime, Kev. Look what we found! Just outside of Dubuque. The road isn't quite as narrow, but it sure is pretty. This part of Iowa, the northeastern part, and the southeastern part of Minnesota, both beautiful. Worth the time over here if you ever make a trip this way. Round barn. Just about home. got some rain up here too. There's water standing in the ditches. Creeks are awful full, ditches are full. I think from what my family says, we've gotten at least 10 inches of rain here in the last couple of days. So, alright, I'm going to pass this guy as soon as I can. Fun though, whatever that is. Well, as Kevin Wald says on his YouTube channel, home. We're home. We've got the Vamper unloaded. Most of our stuff put away already. I'm just walking down to the mailbox, get what we have. I always have mixed feelings. I mean, it's good to be home. It is good to be home. I just love traveling so much. I think my grandma's and my dad's feeling of wanderlust. So it was a good trip. I thoroughly enjoyed it.